Hello, awesome people of the internet. This is Tovida, and today we're going to do something different in Clash Royale. As a lot of you know, today is the Night Witch challenge, in which you have a chance to win the Night Witch. I have some recordings of some gameplay I've had from the challenge. However, for a full disclosure, I didn't feel like being able to do live commentary while concentrating on the battles. I really like the new legendary card that's coming out. I love the way to gain those cards for tournaments, and I wanted to make sure I give my best during the gameplay because those challenges are tough. So what I did is I have a voiceover on top of some of the most important games that I had, and I'm going to come back with those just in a second. See you guys in a minute. And we're right back with the challenge. As you guys can see, I'm at 9 wins at the moment and 1 loss. Funnily enough, that 1 loss was actually my first game, but we're quickly jumping in here to try to get that 10th win. So I drafted the Jan here first because I needed a win condition, followed by a Rocket because Fireball may have been better, but I needed a second win condition in case we were at a stalemate. Then we got Lumberjack and a Night Witch. The Lumberjack was more offensive than the Mirror, so I'd rather take it, and I think the Night Witch was the right choice in this situation. So he gave us the Goblin Gang, the Minion Horde, and the Electro Wizard. Now this is where I thought, oh great, so I just need to figure out what are his splash units, and then I'll be able to possibly punish him by playing either the Goblin Gang or the Minion Horde. However, as you're about to see, that didn't quite work out. So I'm pushing here with my Giant and Night Witch, and that Executioner just defended perfectly. Honestly, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have been so aggressive in the beginning, and I should have not. When I saw that Executioner, I should have just gone slow. So the game is not up to a good start, but we're trying to defend here. The Lumberjack is going to tank a little bit for that Wizard, but the Wizard died before I was able to put the Lumberjack down. So the Lumberjack is about to charge the tower now, but the Princess was a good distraction. I was hoping the Lumberjack would make it to the Princess, but no, it did not. So now the Goblin Gang will defend that Princess, and he has arrows. So at this point we know he has a Princess, he has an Executioner, he has arrows, so probably we won't be able to bait him into using the Minion Horde. So the Minion Horde at this point was kind of useless, because I know he will always have a counter ready in his hand. So I'm thinking about starting a push with the Giant, which is what I ended up doing. Now that that defensive building will probably expire a lot of its health by the time the Giant makes it there, so I'm okay with that. So I was hoping that maybe I can catch him off guard here with the Minion Horde, but sadly he also has a Fireball. So he has a Fireball, arrows, Executioner, and a Princess. So my Minion Horde and my Goblin Gang are useless. Now this could happen in a regular match, but it's very improbable to have that many splash units and spells in the draft challenge, but I guess I just drafted wrong in this case. So again, the Lumberjack here will tank, and I'm trying to get a push on the left hand side with the Giant, so the Giant is going to push, but he's ready, and the Executioner defends perfectly. Again, the Executioner is such a powerful card in draft challenges. I highly recommend taking it, and most importantly, it counters perfectly the Night Witch. So in this particular draft challenge, the Night Witch draft challenge, the Executioner is even more powerful. So he fireballs my Night Witch, so I try to kill his Princess with my Goblin Gang, and try to do some silly push, but at this point I'm getting desperate. And I'm thinking about dropping that Rocket, and I have nothing to lose. I need damage on his tower, but he's probably going to punish me. He's going to punish me for that very quickly. So I dropped the Night Witch to counter the Princess. Surprisingly, he hasn't had an aggressive push, but the Executioner is down, which means I can put my Minion Horde down. So I put the Giant in the opposite lane, hoping that he won't have enough Elixir to create a push on the right hand side. I drop the Wizard, and I surround the Executioner with the Goblin Gang. So he's countered perfectly. Now the Giant is approaching the tower. I rocket that Musketeer to get some damage on the tower, and it works out okay. So the Wizard is still defending, the Executioner is there, is going to do a lot of damage. We're actually leading. He has only 900 left on the left hand side, and we have over 1600 on both of our towers, so things are not going that bad. Now I dropped my Giant again. He has a lot of defenses, but he doesn't really have a win condition, which is working out well for us. So we dropped the Lumberjack to rage that Giant, but the Valkyrie does a great job of holding the Giant behind. The Giant is still raged though, and the Rocket is going to kill that Musketeer. The Electrowave is on the tower, and we win. And that is our 10th win. So things look great. We're at 10 wins, 1 loss. Maybe we can make it. So we need 2 more wins, and we're there. So he didn't have, he had a mirror, which was interesting. I noticed that with his Musketeer, when he mirrored the Musketeer a couple of times. So we're at 10 wins. We only need 2 more to win, and we can still afford to lose 1 game. So we start with the Miner because it's a win condition. We pick up the Goblin because he has very fast attack speed, and I think he's very good in draft challenges. And then we pick up the Night Witch instead of the Goblin Hut. Now here, if you guys see what just happened, I didn't have any ground units or tanks to be able to put in front of my pushes except that Miner. So things are not looking quite well. We don't have any defensive buildings here either, so maybe it was a better decision to get that Goblin Tower. And to punish us for all that, we quickly realized that things are even worse than we expected because he has an Expo. So I'm trying to defend the Expo here. I dropped the Spear Goblins, but he has a Skeleton Army, and things are just going from bad to worse. And we're definitely going to lose that tower. We're going to lose that tower. That tower is gone. I'm going to try to defend this Expo a little bit with some skeletons, so it stops doing damage, and the Expo is finally dead. So at this point, I'm just going to try to get to his tower with a Miner, because that is my win condition, and hope that I can defend his Expo when it comes in. So he puts that Goblin Hut to be able to defend and stop my units, which is a good idea. The Miner can still make it directly to the tower, but I need to push somehow. And the Night Witch is a melee unit, but she's not the greatest tank, but we don't have a choice. We put her as a tank, we put the Miner down to tank for all the units, and we arrow all that mess, hoping something can make it to the tower. But at this point, he doesn't care about taking a tower or doing damage or having a counter push. The only thing he cares about is defending. He doesn't need to do anything else. Maybe this was his 11th or 12th match, and he just needs to defend, and then he wins. And I don't have any cards that I'm able to punish that kind of defensive behavior. And to make things worse, he puts an X-Bow in defense. Now, for anyone out there that has played an X-Bow or has played against an X-Bow, once you guys lose a tower, an X-Bow in defense makes it nearly impossible to get anything to the tower. Unless you have a huge tank like a Golem or a Giant. We don't even have that. We don't even have a Valkyrie. So we try and keep pushing. We put the Executioner down. We put the Miner down to tank for all that. Maybe the Miner was a bit early. The Dark Goblin to do some damage. We're just trying desperately to make it to the tower. But everything, every single troop, every single building that he has is right there to defend. I put that second Executioner to be able to counter that Skeleton Army because I knew it was coming. So I'm putting the Miner again, trying to make it to the tower. Maybe we can pull something off in the last second. 30 seconds left. We have 30 seconds to make it to the tower. 1583. We're slowly chipping him down. Maybe we can make it work. So we dropped the Spear Goblins, and we dropped the Dart Goblin, and the Executioner is a tank, because we have to improvise. The Night Witch, at this point I'm getting aggressive, and he has poison, so he can perfectly punish all that push. It's very smart of him. He's not trying in any way possible to attack and take my second tower. He's just defending, and that Miner is there. We're chipping the tower. We're slowly going down, but it was not enough. We lost. So this is our second loss, and now we're in a tough situation. We need to win 2 games without losing 1. So we're gonna jump right in and see if we can make it work. I believe we can. So we have the Tornado instead of the Princess because it's a more versatile defensive card, I think. The Miner is a win condition, so we pick that up. Now, between the Lightning and the Lock, it could be a hard choice, but the Lightning does more damage, so it could be a secondary win condition to spell cycle him, and it counters the Night Witch, which so far we haven't seen, and indeed, it is a choice that he's going to make. So we pick up the... we start with a very weird hand. The only thing we can probably do is put down the Tombstone and hope that it can defend against that Princess, but we're too late. So we punish that princess with our minions, but he has an Ice Wizard to counter it perfectly. So at this point we're in a bit of a stalemate. I don't have a good hand, unfortunately. Again, we're stuck without having a good tank, and he has a good tank. He has the giant skeleton. So things are not looking that good. And honestly, to be honest, I think in this challenge, compared to some other draft challenges, the draft seemed slightly more one-handed. There is more situation in which it seems that your fate is decided by the starting hand if your opponent is given a choice for a very well-used and very meta win condition, and you're not. But we're going to try to make this work. We dropped the lightning down on his witch just as we planned when we drafted that lightning. So he tries to push with his princess. We use our 5 spirits to distract the bats and finish the princess. Worked out perfectly. So we still haven't taken any serious damage on our tower. We managed to defend that giant skeleton perfectly. So maybe we have a chance, but we're gonna have to try to get more aggressive. So we're gonna defend this this Ice Wizard. There's probably a giant skeleton coming our way. No, it's actually a Valkyrie. He has 2 different tanks. Never mind, it's a Valkyrie and a giant skeleton. So I dropped my miner trying to distract all that while my Ice Wizard finished it, but I was too late with the miner. I put the miner too much in the back, and it's just a mess. So I tried to put the giant skeleton away from my tower, trying not to take damage, and it actually worked. My minions finished him just far away so the bomb doesn't explode. So I drop the skeleton here, finishing the princess, and things are not looking good. We're at 1000 health left in our tower. He's slowly chipping us. He's dropping that princess to get some cheap damage. He has 2 tanks. We have no tanks except the miner. So we're desperate, and I'm going to try to push the other side. I drop the miner and the spirits and the minions, just trying to get to the tower and do some damage, which was a bit of a desperate push, but and it didn't work out. However, he dropped the Night Witch there in defense, and we're able to capitalize on that with the lightning, just slowly doing some damage on the tower. Now he continues chipping us with the princess, and things are not looking good, guys. And this is our last game. If we lose this, we lose the challenge, and we can't get the witch. So we're jumping in. The miner goes first. We have the spirits, again, the same push as we had before. Didn't quite work out the first time, but they changed the position of the miner, and we still have a chance to take that witch down with our lightning. So we're slowly doing some damage on the left-hand side. So we have him in a cycle that we actually like, and he's trying to not be aggressive and not to push, and he's also afraid of my miner on the left-hand side. So he actually is not getting too aggressive on the right-hand side, and even though the princess is chipping us, we're still not at a loss. So I'm lightning here again. We keep cycling the same thing, a miner with minions and spirits, and then a lightning to counter his witch, because he keeps dropping the witch and he keeps dropping the Ice Wizard. He realizes that that's not going to happen. He needs to defend, so that's what we do. That's what he does. He pushes. He needs to stop defending. He needs to push and be more aggressive, and that's exactly what he does. However, I'm confident that I can defend his push, and I put the binder to get a little bit more cheap damage, because I know that if it gets under 340, I can use my lightning, and that's exactly what happens. Can we win this? So we drop the lightning out in the corner, so nothing else tanks for the lightning, and it doesn't attract it, and we make it. We make it win. It's 11 wins, and we're still in this challenge. Whew. Okay, guys, this is exciting. 11 wins. We need 1 more win and we can make it. This game decides it. If we win, we'll win the Night Witch. We unlock the Night Witch, our last legendary card. And if we don't, we drop out of the challenge and we have to start from scratch. So we start with the Musketeer. The Musketeer is a more versatile card, but it doesn't do splash damage, so it's a questionable choice. We pick up the Tornado because it can work as arrows too, but it's a little bit more versatile in defense. You can pull things on your tower. And now we have the Executioner, and he picks up the Bowler. Now, in this case, I probably should have... I thought about it, and I wasn't sure if I want to pick up the Executioner or the Bowler, but I didn't want to give him the Executioner because that Executioner would have been able to counter perfectly the Night Witch. So, in a sense, I did counter a bit around my cards, but more specifically I countered around the Night Witch, which may or may not have been a good decision. Because now, we're stuck again, in another game in a row, in a situation in which we don't have a good tank. And he has a Sparky, and we don't have a good counter for our Sparky. Oh, actually, I thought I did. I wanted to push on the left-hand side, so he panics and has to defend, and then we were going to use our Night Witch to counter that Sparky, which the Night Witch can. It will die to the blast from the Sparky, and the bats will finish it. However, he puts that bowler down, and we nearly defend. The executioner takes that last shot from the Sparky. I thought, oh good, but then the blast radius is so big it hits the tower, and we are in a dire situation. It was looking good, but suddenly not anymore. So I need to put that Night Witch to tank everything. Again, I don't have good tank. I have a mini P.E.K.K.A. But that mini P.E.K.K.A. is too late. The Prince makes it to the tower, and we lose that tower. Whew. Okay, we need to get ourselves together, and we need to try to get that 12 win. We can still make it. We have a lot of damage on his left-hand side. Can we make it? So he has his bowler coming towards our tower. We're going to ignore that bowler on the right-hand side and just try to attack on the left-hand side. If he gets too aggressive, we can capitalize on that. We can win. So, again, we don't have any tanks, and he puts down the Sparky. And Sparky defensively, if you don't have a zap, is an amazing defensive card. Especially in draft challenges like this, because he just takes everything on its way. Now I was hoping that the Executioner will get raged, which it did, and then I can lightning the Sparky, but I couldn't lightning the Sparky fast enough, and we did barely 300 damage. So we are still in this, we can still make it work. Let's see, we're gonna drop the Night Witch and try to get another push down. He's just cycling his Fire Spirits, which is okay. And he has a rocket. So that Night Witch is gone, but the bats are still here. I put the Musketeer down, and I put the mini P.E.K.K.A. as a tank in front, and the Bomber, I'm getting desperate. But he has a bowler, and that bowler just wrecks that whole push down. But I'm trying to lightning here, trying to get some last chip damage on the tower. It's not that far. We need 2 more lightnings or something to make it to the tower. Maybe we can make it work. But the Sparky comes in, which probably means I can't take anything else to the tower unless I get take care of that Sparky. But that's okay. We still have 20 seconds. Maybe we can cycle back to the lightning, hit the Sparky, hit the tower, hit that wizard, and do something about it. We lose the witch to the Sparky. He puts a bowler down. He gets really aggressive. I put my lumberjack down, my mini P.E.K.K.A. to try to finish that Sparky, but he has a prince in our base with tornado, everything, trying to make it work and save a tower so we can make it to his, but it's 2-1-0, and our dream for a Night Witch is gone, guys. Our dream is gone, and this is our loss. 11 wins, 1 loss. 11 wins, 3 losses, and we're out of this. This is very unfortunate, but that's okay. It happens. So we're gonna jump. We're gonna open this chest now. We're gonna hopefully get something good out of it. If not, at least we get some cards and some gold. And we're gonna have to try it another time. So it's unfortunate that we didn't make it, but we're gonna be back with another video and another attempt soon enough. If you guys like what I do, please drop a like and subscribe, and find me at Tovida Gaming on Twitter and Twitch. So see you guys next time.